Welcome back. We are in segment number 3 of our lesson, and we're talking now about the fertilizer industry. And how did it come about that we had to come up with fertilizer industry and produce so many fertilizers to help farmers and whoever is engaged in plowing and planting plants? The reason is that the human population is continuously growing. It's increasing, and it is actually growing at a much faster rate that the natural food production cannot meet the demand, okay? And because of that, we need to have more fertilizers. So there is a greater demand for food. And the land that we are using can't provide enough nutrients for plants since it is plowed rapidly. So we're using these nutrients quite rapidly. So we need to do something to sort of complement and supply more fertilizers that will bring these nutrients so we can produce this food in bulk to be able to meet the demand for food as the human population increases. Now, we therefore need to have industries that are producing these nutrients or these fertilizers to supply our plants with so that we can produce more and more food for the people. The primary nutrients that we will be talking about mainly that are needed by plants, it's what we call nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And we sum it up as NPK. And I remember my standard 5 teacher, some guy down there in Limpopo, Mabasa, taught me to say Napaka, okay? And I would always remember nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium by that Napaka. Thank you, sir. You taught me something that I never forgot since standard 5, which is now grade 7. And these primary nutrients here, nitrogen, okay? We have nitrogen as one of the primary nutrients, and its function on plants is that it provides plant growth as it helps in the cell division. It also helps in the formation of proteins. It assists in the process of photosynthesis, and it also increases seed and fruit production. So you can't have, for example, a farm where you're having fruits, mangoes, oranges, without making sure that you have fertilizers that contain nitrogen. Okay. Where does this come from? Nitrogen is absorbed as nitrates by plants. Plants do not take nitrogen as is, so it has to be fixed first. It is taken in as nitrates from atmospheric fixation, from biological fixation, because it can be taken as nitrogen, and also industrial fixation where we make use of the Haber process. Phosphorus helps in photosynthesis, production of oils, sugar, and starch. It fastens growth and also make plants to resist tensions. It is found in phosphates, okay, things like the phosphate rock and bone meal. All right. Now, the last one of the primary nutrients, potassium. It helps in the building of proteins, in photosynthesis as well. And for us to produce good quality fruits, we need potassium, and it also protects plants from disease. That is potassium. Where do we get it? It is usually from potassium salts, and usually we're looking at the potassium chloride, which is used as a fertilizer in the fertilizer production. Okay. Now, let's have a look at how do we come up with some of these fertilizers. Let's look at the nitrogen-based fertilizers. Ammonia, for example. Ammonia is produced through the process of Haber, which is the reaction between nitrogen, hydrogen to give us that ammonia. That's how ammonia is produced industrially. Okay? You have nitrogen reacting with hydrogen to produce your ammonia. Okay, and the process is called Haber. Nitrogen is collected from the atmosphere. This nitrogen is collected from the atmosphere through a process called fractional distillation of air. Okay, if I may explain this quickly. Now, what you do when you do fractional distillation to get nitrogen, you liquefy air. Okay, you cool it off to a level of liquefaction. So you've got a liquid air. Then you boil this air nicely. You don't heat it hard. You don't provide a huge flame. You blow it. You boil it. You boil that gas, in low temperatures. These gases, other gases, are going to boil first and evaporate. Okay, and then, or in fact, you would have nitrogen going to be evaporating at a certain level. At that temperature, you're going to have nitrogen coming off. So you extract that nitrogen from that point and begin to use it. So that is fractional distillation. Okay. Now we need to just stop there and let's meet in the next section.